Do you ever listen to a song with a rap feature on it, listen to what the feature is saying, and then realize that it just doesn't really make sense for the song that they're on? In the worst cases, even representing the opposite of what the song is about? That's what I'm going to be focusing on today. Whether it's a rap song, a pop song, it doesn't matter. As long as it's a rap feature on the track, then it can be included in this video because for some reason, it happens pretty often. Quick shout out to my Discord who helped me to get some final entries for this video. The link to join is down in the description below. We're almost at 500 members, so join up over there. And let's take a look at some off-topic rap features.
I'll be out spending all this money while you sitting around wondering why it wasn't you who came up from nothing. Made it from the bottom, now when you see me I'm stunting.
I swear Wiz's verse here was scientifically crafted in a lab to be counter to everything Adam Levine was doing on this song. From the blunt and abrupt way that he enters the song following the chorus, you know he's gonna be doing his own thing on here. The rest of the song is pretty much about having the most devastating and life-ruining heartbreak of your life. Do you know how damn bad you have to be to talk about how fairy tales are bullshit and hearing love songs on the radio would be enough to make you throw up and cry? So it's such a hilarious shift when Wiz Khalifa comes into the song, just brag rapping about how much money he makes and how he doesn't care about a previous partner of his who doesn't get to experience his success with him now. He sounds happy that they broke up, not heartbroken.
Switch the number to my phone so you never could call it. Don't need my name on my show, you can tell it I'm ballin'.
Sure, it's broadly about relationships still, but clearly in such a different way to the rest of the song. I'll always count it as an off-topic feature if the verse sounds like it was meant for a different track. This one has always made me laugh too with how inconsistent the rhyme scheme is. Each line does have a rhyme somewhere, but it's pretty hard to predict where on the beat that rhyme is actually gonna land.
And all of my cars are with a push of a button, telling me I changed since I blew up or whatever you call it. Switch the number to my phone so you never could call it.
All in all, it's a verse that I actually love because of how much it doesn't fit. So bad that it's good territory maybe. I can have fun with this one.
Silver Rolls Royce, cigarette smokes in it. New fur rug, now my dirty boots in them.
Right here we have the perfect instance of the feature going completely contrary to the entire message of the song. Royals by Lorde is pretty clear on what it's about. It's a simple commentary on the overly materialistic view of life typically found in popular songs, and how most people generally can't relate to that. It's definitely not a celebration of a wealthy way of life. But when it comes to the remix featuring Rick Ross,
She wanna watch Scandal, I wanna count a handful. Dead president sleep in the attic of the mansion.
it's like he heard the word Maybach in the pre-chorus and tuned out everything else. Now, you could argue that Ross's intention was to represent the fantasy lifestyle that Lorde is acknowledging as superficial, but I don't really know about that because the song didn't need a feature verse to further get its point across. Royals was talking about the most popular music that you would hear at the time. It didn't need a whole other section within it dedicated to representing the materialism that we all already knew it's talking about. It more so comes across like Rick Ross is incapable of rapping without mentioning how glamorous his lifestyle is. Even the placement of the Maybach music audio tags is hilarious. It just feels like a misinterpretation of what the song is really about.
With the ruly attitude, ignorant, arrogant dude. Excuse me, I'm only 17. You're excused. I like your honesty.
Hey, I'm so cool leaving. I ain't want to be me. That was totally off the subject. But for me, every song is like pussy so fucking.
Now, originally for this video, I was gonna pick the infamous Kanye West verse on the This Ain't a Scene remix, where he literally starts off by acknowledging, I don't know what the hell this song is talking about. But the more I think about it and listen to it, Kanye takes that and makes it into this funny story that actually kind of does work for the song, if you ask me. It comes across as kind of clever, despite not really sounding like it at first. And it's extremely funny. No, instead, I'm picking two features from the 6-verse long VMA remix of the song, those being Tyga and Lil Wayne. And if you didn't know about it before, yes, there is a 7-rapper remix of This Ain't a Scene. Now, Fall Out Boy lyrics aren't the most straightforward for sure, but Tyga drops a verse on this one that could just be from any song, and he opens it up by taking the "I'm the leading man" lyrics from the refrain in the lamest direction possible.
The leader man, Tiger man make you leave your man, ladies man to your man.
As for Wayne, just like Kanye, he acknowledges during the verse that he has no clue what the fuck the song he's doing a feature for is about.
I am your arms dealer. I'm more like an armed dealer. Really, I don't get this song neither.
But unlike Kanye, he doesn't weave a story out of it or really have any funny lyrics about it. He just goes off topic while admitting that he's off topic, but he doesn't really care. In short, I want more Fall Out Boy rap collabs. This is gold.
No strings attached, you want me to tie up. She asked how much money I got, I told her not enough.
Well, I did say I wanted more of these. To be fair, I feel like some rappers featuring on these tracks are sort of in the same position as me when I listen to these songs, and let me explain that a little bit. What I mean by that is that I've heard this song, the original one, several times before. It's catchy. No clue what the fuck it's about. Never really focused on the lyrics that much because I usually just hear it on the radio and I think it sounds good. That's all I really focus on. But despite that, I'm pretty sure that I can say what 2 Chainz does here does not really tie into the original meaning of the song that much. The lyrics throughout seem layered with meaning and metaphors and symbolism, and then 2 Chainz comes through with an admittedly pretty funny but very standard rap verse. The only thing I can see tying it to the original is him dropping the words "light it up" and "fire" into his verse. And that's it. Okay, so the song says "light it up, I'm on fire" during the hook. I've got it.
Light it up, I'm so hot, I'm getting head in a fire truck.
It's 2 Chainz, so I still think it's entertaining, but it's definitely not fitting.
Well fed, got all the bread. I'm sad, I need some head.
If there is one artist that can be pretty much expected to just entirely do his own thing on somebody else's song, it's Kanye West. But even still, this one is wild. All of Ghostface's parts see him talking about taking out his enemies and hustling to get that big money. As is usually the case, you can just look at the hook to summarize the content of the song, and literally every line from Ghostface is about murdering rivals. And then renowned porn addict Kanye West starts speaking.
I might tell you the one while I'm hitting it, till I post not come to my senses.
It really feels like he phoned it in for this one. There's barely any direction to it other than Ye vaguely rambling about having nice cars and sex. The Kanye of the past could honestly make doing his own thing on a track work, because he would at least make it entertaining, refer back to his "This Ain't a Scene" remix verse. But this one is just an eye roll from start to finish, turning no face into no fun.
That pussy out just like a drop and then I dip. I didn't beat that pussy till the blue shit not a crip. Diamonds on me red and then it white, no zit. Master Roshi with it, I done put up with a stick.
One of my favorite examples of the off-topic feature phenomenon is this Space Ghost Perp diss track. Perp said some disrespectful things about ASAP Yams on Twitter, and this was the retaliation. The first 3 artists on it, Denzel Curry, Lofty 305, and XXXTentacion, spend a couple minutes intensely attacking Space Ghost Perp, even talking at some points about how they want to aggressively kill him. And then Ski Mask the Slump God comes through rapping about Princess Peach, Pokeballs, and Go-Go Gadget.
Princess Peach jewelry, my bitch. Red, white, black, Pokeball, my bitch. Beep, boop, beep, go gadget, my wrist. Bling, bling, blow, Johnny Dang, my fist.
It's such a funny switch. He does not have a single line that's a diss on here. This one, unlike a lot of the others in this video, was explained though. Ski Mask said that his verse for the song was recorded before it was a diss track, therefore he didn't have any lines that were dissing Space Ghost Perp. I guess they really did just keep it in because it sounded cool. And the best thing about this one is that I don't even care really. Ski's verse is one of the things that made this track so memorable for me. Off Topic doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad feature, it's just pretty funny in this instance. And it also means that this angry diss track containing death threats finishes with the lines, "Your grandma wanna poke me on Facebook. I want that booty, no Captain Hook." Perfection.
It's crazy how everybody's so obsessed with my race, cause I'm proud to be black, but matter of fact, if it was flipped around.
Here we go talking about this breakdown in audio form once again. Tell me it doesn't fit the bill for this video though. Okay, what is Caterpillar about? Royce da 5'9" is basically saying that he's a legend in the rap game who helped to shape and influence the rappers that came after him. He's the caterpillar, so to speak, that laid some of the groundwork to help spawn the butterflies. So in essence, it's a brag rap song with the specific angle of I've got a legacy that will live on in the rap game. Does Logic go with this without any significant derailments? You already know the answer, buddy. About halfway through it, it completely derails into an elongated rant about how Logic feels other people look at him for being biracial, and it doesn't fit the song at all. On top of that, it's just unbearable.
White, 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 everything. White man, being white, so great. Wow, it's so great.
This alone classifies the verse as an off-topic one for me, but I'd also even argue that the rest of the verse outside of the obvious bad section also kinda struggles to stick with what Royce was going for. Yes, Logic talks about the rap game in some way, but instead of firmly asserting his spot within it like Royce does, he instead spits some weak bars about how everyone in hip-hop should love each other and the game should be buddy-buddy with no egos. And about how he wants to be a good person.
But I don't give a fuck about this rap shit, not really though. Shitting on a brother I should love, man, that's silly, yo.
A fine message, I guess, but that is not what the song called for at all. You're on a rap song that is pretty much about ego. A lot of the focus goes to the rant in the middle because it's the worst part, but even outside of that, it's really not a good or focused verse.
I've been getting money for a long time. You been banging, throwing up the wrong sign.
As someone who's listened to a fair chunk of Tech's music, one thing that I've noticed he's pretty big on is putting inside jokes that he has with his friends in real life into his songs. Like, he often has whole songs dedicated to these inside jokes, and Bass Ackwards is one of those. It's one that's easy enough to get. It's saying that something is ass backwards by saying that phrase, well, ass backwards. And you can already kind of see how this provides a lot of opportunities for wordplay centering around the idea of things being ass backwards, or even just things going in reverse. And even wordplay where you just mess around with how the words sound and swap the letters over like you do with Bass Ackwards. Tech 9 obviously does this, doing the thing where he swaps the letters around.
This song is dedicated to the ball droppers, but I'ma switch the letters around and say draw boppers.
Lil Wayne definitely does this in a way that I find really entertaining and pretty unique to his style.
So frankly, I'm stalking Ben Franklin. I am Wayne Carter, oops, I meant cane water, cocaine on back order.
And Big Scoob maybe doesn't necessarily stick to it too tightly, but he still does something with it. You know, he takes this idea of ass backwards and applies what it means to him.
Bass Ackwards, synonymous with rappers. All these niggas claiming, maintaining that they factors.
But then you have Yo Gotti, who just raps a verse. It doesn't say anything that ties into this pretty fun wordplay based concept.
I'm Yo Gotti the drug dealer. I'm Yo Gotti the thug nigga.
I don't think his verse sounds particularly bad or anything, but he's definitely just on here because his voice works well enough with the production, and not because he put in any attempt at wordplay or matching the song's idea.
Blatantly dirty, insanely perverted, rapey and scurvy. They blame me for murdering Jamie Lee Curtis. Said I put a face in the furnace.
Now look, you could say that No Favors is a song that necessarily doesn't hinge too heavily on its concept in the first place, but I'd say if you look at Sean's verse, nearly every single line he has pertains to not needing any handouts and succeeding on your own merits. Simple concept, but he sticks to it. But while I do kinda like the verse from Mr. Marshall Mathers on here, it's pretty difficult to say that a lot of what he does sticks to the idea of this track. Compare the way Sean starts his verse to the way that Eminem starts his. It's pretty clear that they're on different trains of thought here.
I'm about getting the job done, boy, up every night. I'm about rolling the 7 when I toss up the dice.
Fuck you looking at, hater. I saw them eyes like an ass raper.
Why does he have a significant amount of bars about Ann Coulter and Donald Trump on a song like this? The Ann Coulter section in particular showcased one of Eminem's worst habits at around this time, which was just rhyming a bunch of words together pointlessly.
Fuck Ann Coulter with a clan poster with a lamppost, door handle, shutter, a damn bolt cutter, a sandal, a can of butter.
There's plenty of bars I like on this one too. This gun'll sound and you'll get around like Digital Underground is great. So ahead of my time, late means I'm early, my age is reversing, I'm basically 30. Sounds so cool. But it feels like there's only a couple of points throughout the verse where Eminem stops saying the first things that come into his head and instead references his position in success in hip hop. Sometimes it feels like he got to the very last couple of bars in the song and then remembered, oh yeah, this is a song about not needing handouts.
Bitch, I'm like your problems, self-made, meaning someone else's help ain't needed, cause
I am critical of this verse here, but remember, you can criticize something even pretty heavily and still overall like it, and I would say that's the case for me with this verse. It's off topic, doesn't really fit what Sean was saying for over half of the verse, but it's still a solid listen for me. For probably at least half of my picks on here, I can enjoy the verses, even if I can acknowledge they don't really make sense in these songs. So, now I'll ask, do you know any songs that fit the bill for this topic? Let me know down in those comments below and I'll maybe include them if I make a sequel to this video. Thank you for watching. You can click on the screen right here to check out my previous video, and let's give a little special shout out to my channel members and Patreon supporters over here with a tiny extra little bit of love to my biggest supporters, and those are I Am Region, KWG13270, Lucas1123, and Neo Striker.